Morning, guys. DCK here, hitting you up with a fairly early morning review of Chikara's Reality is Relative, their season finale of this past year, 2010. I'm pretty sure everyone knows how much I enjoyed Chikara in 2010. It ruled. It was awesome. I mean, that's a fairly biased statement, but I thought they were on fire this year. Just this whole year, and this show is fairly representative of it too. Unfortunately, I don't think this is really one of Chikara's top shows. In terms of a combination of I felt like I was a little underwhelmed by the season finale, but then again, it could work out because of where things go in 2011, because BDK sure as hell ain't over. So yeah, but this will be a spoiler review, so I'm sorry. Don't watch it if you don't want to get spoiled. Even though I'm posting this review about 2 weeks after everyone else, but what have you. So up first we had the Osirian Portal with their random partner Jonathan Gresham, as he was given to them by Wink Vavasur, a new authority figure in Chikara, and future Director of Fun. That was one of the big newsworthy things coming out of this show. They were up against the BDK combination of Delirious Lindsay Dorado and Pink Ant Pinky Sanchez. Totally hot opener. I like how they started out with the brawl. Just kind of getting, especially considering that Delirious was there and how much Delirious is good at kind of a wacky brawling. I'm gonna adjust myself so I block the window light. He does a really good brawl. I think all of them do a pretty dang good brawl. Jonathan Gresham showed actually quite a bit of personality in the ring, a good bit of attitude that I'm sure could work in the future if he does finish a transformation into being a part of the Osirian Portal, and he'll fit in fine. Especially his offense will definitely work. I really love the Osirian Portal. I mean, they're fun, but they're freaking great in the ring. I love their stuff in the ring. It's fun, energetic, but they can be serious. But other than that, it's just a lot of fun. Even the goofy stuff is just like, oh, but that was really, really cool. That kind of good stuff. And Osirian Portal get the victory. Just a solid, it was like a 12-minute opener right there. Totally solid stuff, real hot. Yeah, so there's that. We move on to, what do we move on to? Oh, and then afterwards, Pinky Sanchez gets on the mic. If I remember, I think he was just talking about the fans and being sheep and all that junk. Eddie Kingston sneaks up behind him, knocks him the hell out with the back fist of the future, which is always nice to see. However, Delirious and Lindsay are able to get the better of him real quick. They get him down, which sets up for Tursus to actually come off the second rope for this splash. Ooh, Tursus is a big boy. I don't think people want to get splashed from the second rope from that guy. He finishes so many people with a splash on the ground. Imagine from the second rope, and then Dieter comes out. He's just like, well, we're supposed to have this match eventually on this card, so let's start Tursus and Kingston right now. I know that's not how Dieter talks, but and they got going, and it was like 5-6 minutes of awesome. I'm not gonna lie, this was really awesome big man stuff for like 5 minutes. Oh, it was like 6 minutes. it ruled. It was so fun, so cool, and it was great to it was great to make Kingston look good, because it's just this tough guy. Come on, give me more, give me more. Awesome finish. Kingston getting Terces up for a backdrop driver. Dear Lord. And not just like he kind of got him up and kind of plopped him down. He actually got some good lift on him and was able to turn him in for that type of backdrop driver type throw. Awesome. There was a super Kinrana in this match. They hit the crap out of each other. It was cool. It was so cool for that 5-6 minutes. Oh, it was a great sprint, like a big man sprint match, which is so cool to see. Sorry, there's like Sports Center going on. Yeah, that ruled. And it's all building up to Kingston Claudio. Oh, baby. So excited. Next up, Tim Donst, Jimmy Olsen. Pretty good match. Pretty good. They obviously want to keep Donst strong. And considering the way his character's gone this year, I agree. I think keeping him strong is a pretty good idea. You can do some interesting stuff with him in the future, definitely. Especially keeping him strong as a member of the BDK. The BDK needs to stay strong as much as possible. And Jimmy Olsen kind of played his role well. Okay. And I'm glad he's not Equinox anymore. He was kind of below as Equinox, but he gets back to the Olsen twins persona, and it's good stuff. Then we had Ultramantis Black and Hollow Wicked. Just kind of another interesting match. It did remind me quite a bit of their Through Savage Progress Cuts the Jungle Line New York match. However, a lot more brawling. It was like a similar structure, but with more brawling. Hollow Wicked acting not necessarily heelish, as some people have put it, but kind of this kind of angrier thing. He's still, like, you kind of got the point that he's still not on good terms with Ultramantis Black. And then Hollow Wicked cinches up on him. I thought that was an interesting little finish. He got his win back from Ultramantis Black from New York. So we got that. Ultramantis was trying to, get more answers out of Hollow Wicked about what's, just where they are. And then Obarian and Kodama come out. But they're with the hooded guy. Hooded guy is just like, I want the Eye of Tyr for training your army, your Obarian and Kodama. And Ultramantis is like, oh, I don't have it. I lost to the BDK like a year ago. And then so the army turns on him, of course, with like this hunchback guy who looked a lot like Hydra. And then it was Obarian and Kodama, and their ringleader was Sinbodi, aka Kazarni. And then you got Hollow Wicked. It looks like he's about to go to the back. Frightmare's just like, come on, we gotta help him out, And then not long, they both help him out, run off what I believe is known as the Batiri. I believe that's what I've heard is what they're called, the Batiri. I think that was in Ultramantis' blog. The Batiri ran him off. So we got that cool stuff right there. And next up we had a disappointing match in Fire Hand and Soldier Hand against Sarah Del Rey and Daisy Hayes of the BDK. Daisy got busted open. She got drilled in the face. I think it was that TKO that Soldier Ant gave her. That just went wrong and it busted her open. So he just slapped the Chikara special on her and had her tap, and they got her out of the ring fast. Like, that did not look good. And thus it kind of just sort of ended and felt like it kind of under-delivered. Especially considering I've been waiting, like, you know, when they're putting Daisy Hayes and Del Rey to the test against all these teams, I'm just like, just wait until they face the Colony. That'll be cool stuff. And then I just felt it under-delivered. Yeah. But I think another match was also was even more blood than this. But the next match was Dasher Hatfield and Sugar Dunkerton, the throwbacks against the Roughnecks, Brody Lee, and the heel Grizzly Redwood. He turned bad. You know, he got his edge back. You know, reunited with Brody. I'm cool with that. I think they're a good combination. And putting against the throwbacks is very good because the throwbacks have improved buttload. They have they have a real cool style going with them now. Both Dasher and Sugar working real well. These two teams had a wild tag match. It was about 10 minutes, and there was a whole lot of brawl going on. I mean, it just felt kind of chaotic, and which is interesting considering you have a tiny lumberjack, a guy who's a baseball player and a basketball player, and then a big trucker guy. It was this weird thing, but a lot of brawling, a lot of intensity. Interesting finish. You know, it looked like they had Dasher. You looked like Roughnecks had finished off Dasher. Grizzly sends Brody to hold out Sugar so that Grizzly can cover Dasher. Dasher rolls up and cinches up to get the 3. Funny thing, at the end of the match, Grizzly has some trouble looking for the baseball bat, but he does find it and beats him up with it. Up next, kind of a blow match. Colin Delaney Olsen versus Vin Gerard. Former unstable mates collide. It was pretty good up until the finish. I thought the finish was incredibly blah. Like worse than the finish for worse than the Colony BDK finish. Worse than both small package finishes. Just really that short Hurricane Rana wasn't very good, but you know they're probably gonna keep going with this Olsen twins unstable feud, or at least the Colin Vin portion. Whatever. It wasn't a bad match. Just the finish hurt it a lot for me. And finally, Mike Quackenbush and Jigsaw, versus the BDK Campeonatos de Parejas, Aries and Claudio. This match was great. This was marked-out central for Chikara fans. You have Sabato supposed to be the ref, but then Remsburg goes in, but then Remsburg gets taken out by Claudio, which means Sabato goes back in, but then Remsburg takes out Sabato, and you have just craziness, and everyone's Quack dies, but then he comes back to life. Jigsaw looks like a hero, and we have new champions, Mike Quackenbush and Jigsaw, and everyone poops themselves, and so do I. And I unfortunately already knew that result, so I was like, oh! But I was still like, oh! I was excited. It was so great. I'm still disappointed that they didn't do the Quackenbush stigma thing, because I thought that was the story that they set up on the blog. I'm ashamed they didn't do that, but dang, that was a great moment, man. That was great. So this show, I think, if you follow Chikara all this year, this show you definitely need to get. Absolutely. So yeah, Double Cross King, stay classy.